Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're stepping onto the shop floor to explore a really high-stakes world. We're talking about that intersection where precise mechanical engineering meets, honestly, an incredible amount of kinetic energy. Yep, we're talking about grinding machines. When you operate these things correctly, they deliver a level of dimensional accuracy and surface smoothness that is basically impossible to get any other way. But to harness that kind of power safely, well, you need strict protocols. So let's dive right into this.
Here's a really quick map of our journey today. We are going to cover the foundational theory, the mechanics, safe daily operations, essential upkeep, troubleshooting common issues, and finally, wrap up with those vital safety rules.
All right, starting with Section 1, the foundation. What exactly are we dealing with here?
You see, a grinding machine isn't just your run-of-the-mill power tool. It is a highly specialized, ultra-precise machining tool. Its entire purpose in life is to remove very, very small amounts of material from a workpiece using an abrasive grinding wheel. Whether we're looking at a massive manufacturing plant, a power plant, or just a local mechanical workshop, this is the absolute go-to equipment. You use this when you need to achieve incredibly smooth finishes and a level of dimensional accuracy that other tools simply cannot touch. Now, because industries have so many wildly different needs, there isn't just a one-size-fits-all grinding machine. They range hugely in both size and function. You've got heavy-duty surface grinding machines designed to produce perfectly flat surfaces for precision parts. Then you have cylindrical grinding machines for things like shafts and sleeves, and centerless grinders, which are literally a game-changer for mass-producing cylindrical parts. Moving down the scale, we have specialized tool and cutter grinders to keep your actual cutting tools razor-sharp, all the way down to the humble, everyday bench grinder. You'll find that one in pretty much any maintenance workshop for simple deburring and cleaning jobs.
Moving on to Section 2, the mechanics. Let's look at how this actually works under the hood.
I really love this quote from our source material because it introduces a complete, mind-bending shift in perspective. Most folks think of grinding as just rubbing or sanding down a surface, right? But that's actually totally incorrect. Grinding is literally a form of micro-machining. As that wheel rotates at incredibly high speeds, those abrasive particles are acting as millions of tiny microscopic cutting edges. They are physically slicing away material in the form of incredibly fine chips. So you are cutting, just on a microscopic scale.
So the grinding process itself is kind of like a delicate, highly methodical dance between the raw workpiece and that high-speed abrasive. First up, you have to mount the workpiece completely securely. Then, you select the exact right wheel for the specific job. Once the machine is running, you definitely don't just shove the piece in. You feed the workpiece in gradually toward the wheel. You slowly remove material until you hit that perfect desired finish. And finally, you measure and inspect. It's a very controlled 6-step loop of pure precision.
Okay, Section 3, safe operation. Let's talk about the daily protocols.
Listen, pre-start inspections are an absolute, non-negotiable necessity. This is not optional stuff. Before you even think about touching that power button, you must run through these safety and machine checks. We're talking proper PPE, safety glasses, face shield, and safety shoes. You have to ensure that the wheel guard is properly locked in place and that the emergency stop is fully functional. On the machine side of things, you are physically inspecting that grinding wheel for any catastrophic cracks, you're verifying the wheel balancing, checking the spindle condition, and making sure your coolant and lubrication systems are totally ready to go.
Let's walk through the startup sequence and see how this builds. Once your pre-checks are completely done, you turn on the main power and start the machine. But notice step 3 here. You allow the wheel to reach full speed, and then you just listen. You're actively listening for any unusual noise or feeling around for abnormal vibrations. This is a genuinely crucial diagnostic step before you ever introduce the workpiece to the wheel. Only when it sounds and feels absolutely perfect do you start the coolant, align the piece, and set your specific feed rate and depth.
So the make-or-break point is right here in these operating parameters. Just look at that wheel speed, 25 to 35 meters per second. Think about that for a second. That is a massive, massive amount of kinetic energy spinning right in front of your face. It demands immense respect. Your grinding depth is practically microscopic, often just 0.005 of a millimeter per pass. Meanwhile, a continuous flow of coolant is required just to keep the temperature under control. Managing these exact parameters, that's exactly what separates a flawless, beautiful part from a totally ruined workpiece.
During the actual live grinding operation, an operator's attention has to be entirely locked in, no distractions. You're actively maintaining that proper feed rate and making absolute sure to avoid applying excessive pressure.
You've got to continuously monitor that adequate coolant is flowing and keep a really sharp eye on how the wheel is wearing down over time. Periodically checking those workpiece dimensions ensures you don't overshoot your target. Plus, watching the sparks and listening for any abnormal vibrations gives you immediate, real-time feedback on how that microscopic cut is actually performing.
All right, moving to Section 4, Essential Upkeep. Let's look at machine maintenance. Plotting out a chronological maintenance routine is such a great visual reminder of how proper care scales up over time. On a daily basis, operators are out there cleaning surfaces, removing dust, and checking those coolant levels. Weekly, the maintenance steps up a notch to inspecting spindle bearings and belt tension. By the time we hit the monthly and quarterly marks, we're diving into examining electrical connections, changing out hydraulic oil, and even inspecting the heavy foundation bolts. And all of this routine diligence? It culminates in an annual complete machine overhaul and calibration, which basically ensures the machine stays just as accurate as the day it rolled off the factory floor.
Section 5. Troubleshooting. What to do when things go wrong.
Think of this as your rapid-fire troubleshooting cheat sheet. It perfectly links disastrous outcomes directly to their immediate, actionable solutions. If you're suddenly experiencing excessive vibration, well, the likely culprit is an unbalanced wheel, so go balance it. Getting a surprisingly poor surface finish, your wheel is probably dull, meaning it's time to dress the wheel. Overheating definitely requires an increase in coolant flow. Dimensional errors, that demands a total workpiece realignment. And if you start seeing burning marks right on your metal, you are forcing the cut. You need to reduce your feed rate immediately.
And finally, Section 6, Vital Safety Rules, the absolute non-negotiables.
Notice the incredibly stark contrast here between the essential do's and the potentially fatal don'ts. On the do side, we have the core essentials. Always use wheel guards, wear your proper PPE, and crucially, perform the ring test before mounting any new wheel to verify its structural integrity. But the don'ts are where the true life-altering danger lies. Never, ever exceed the wheel speed rating, period. Never operate with the damaged wheel. And perhaps most critically of all, never stand directly in front of a newly started wheel. If some unseen internal flaw causes that wheel to violently shatter while spinning up to 35 meters per second, standing safely out of the direct line of fire is quite literally what will save your life.
Ultimately, this brings us right to the overarching truth of today's explainer. Adhering to these really strict procedures isn't just about blindly following rules for the sake of it. Proper operation and a highly dedicated preventative maintenance schedule are what actually guarantee your machining accuracy. They dramatically extend the life of some incredibly expensive equipment, they drastically reduce your downtime, and, without a doubt most importantly, they keep everyone in the workplace safe and sound.
So I want to leave you with this final, somewhat provocative thought. Take a moment and think about your own workshop right now. Is your maintenance routine truly protecting your machine, or are you honestly just delaying its eventual failure? Proper grinding operations demand a deep level of respect, precision, and daily diligence. It might be time to take a really hard look at your own daily logs and see where you actually stand. Thanks so much for joining me on this explainer, and keep learning out there.